Hello, and welcome to Griffin, Indiana. Today we are finishing our canola harvest in this field. We just started it in the last episode. Last episode was a bit of a mismatch of everything. We didn't have much to do, so we done a lot of resting and did some odd jobs around the farm. Today the main focus is to get this field done in terms of harvesting. We may get on to doing some field work for it. The priority is just to get it harvested and to see where we're at after that. So I'll get this field opened up and I will catch up with you then. That's the field all opened up. On one round I was going to possibly do two, but the header is quite wide, so it should give us plenty of turn-in points around. We did have to do an unload at the far end. You'll see the truck in the top right there. I did notice that a bit as well. We were struggling for power. The bin was getting pretty full at that point. So we were kind of eking up the hills. So it does have, I think it's like 330 horsepower. You can put it up, but it's quite expensive to put it up. It's about another 100,000 to get it maxed out at 400. I think it's just because it's a combination of the bin and the header size and everything. Just on that bit that we've caused. I don't think we didn't have any other issues on any part of the field. It's not a major concern, but something that we need to look at, I think, once we get a bit more money in. Because 100,000 is quite a lot. We did upgrade the bin last episode, which has been that's a big difference. For an extra 5,000 litres is quite significant. Maybe this bit I could have done with doing 2 times round maybe. No, our harvester, I'm very pleased with this harvester. It's a very, very good mod. So all the canola is going to go down to the oil plant. So we'll turn it into canola oil. Not sure when the best time to sell that is. I think it'll be we'll get best bang for our buck if we put it through a production process as opposed to just selling it. And the money we get from that will be going towards our potato business. The plan in my mind is potatoes and then cotton. Are there other little bits and pieces I maybe want to try? I do definitely want to look at horses again. Especially that we've got that nice area next to our house that we could maybe put a stable there. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, if you're enjoying the video, please give it a like. Also, please consider subscribing. It helps us out massively. Okay, that's almost full again. And just actually tip it when we get here. Hopefully it lasts just in time. Perfect. I'm just going to carry on with the rest of this. And I don't think it'll take too long to get finished. The yields are pretty high, but the harvester is going pretty well. So I'll probably check back in with you in like... It'll be like a minute in your time. About an hour in mine. But yeah, I'll check back in with you then. This is our first full load of canola. We're going to take it straight to our oil mill. The yields have been pretty good. Top end of the field isn't as good as the bottom end, but that's expected as a field can't all be perfect. What I have been looking at is the crop rotation. So we're definitely in a good position to put potatoes in that field that we're just harvesting. Now the one with soybeans in it, I'm going to do canola and then potatoes. I need to check if we can actually do that because I've just thought there the canola planting is quite early, so I'll need to look at that because the canola is just essentially a setup crop for potatoes to get potatoes in that field for the following year, so that we have potatoes in the big field first and then the small field the next year. I'm trying to work between potatoes and like oil crops essentially. If we need to do other ones we will, but that seems to work out not too bad for crop rotation bonus kind of thing, so we'll just try and do our best with that. But I'll show you the yields once we get tipping this. So here's the yield map so far. I've done weird bits and pieces, but it is showing that like this end of the map, or this end of the field, sorry, is significantly better. The top end isn't great, but that's obviously the soil types. But we are getting a nice bit of yield off of this field. So the nitrogen's all fairly... Yeah, the soil type does obviously make a difference with the yield. It goes into this field as well. And you can see the difference on the yield on the last harvest we've done. With that, I'm hoping, I should have reset this, but we'll see what it comes out with when we do the soybean harvest. So I'll get this tipped. The next one tipped anyway. And we'll get it turned on. We'll turn that production on now. It should be producing us some canola oil. The best time to sell canola oil, when I checked last time, was November. I also checked when I was tipping that if we can plant canola after our soybeans, and we can. Canola planting is like now, and our soybean harvest starts just after it, so I'll need to change that one. Just see what we can put in. Even if we take a little bit of hit maybe on the crop rotation bonus, just to ensure that we get a bonus on the potatoes maybe the next year. But we'll see, we can play around with it. The planner thing is really good to just put in what crops you've got on the field, so we'll be playing around with that in a bit. So you'll see on the bottom of this field, it tells us what we've had in it. So previous harvest we have grass and canola. So in our crop rotation planner, we've got grass, we've got canola, and then potatoes. So we're getting a decent bonus on it at 1.1. It does go up to 1.15. So we can put potatoes in there. So that's next year's crop we've picked. You can even go on to input what else you would want to go on after. So obviously canola is not going to be good for us. Corn would be very good. Sunflowers would take a hit. But soybeans, which we can put through, would be a nice little bonus on that. There's not much that actually has a good bonus after potatoes. It looks like you can get wheat and corn. So big cereal crops. Fine. So we would probably just pick between those, because that's a big hit. And soybeans would be alright as well, to be honest. We could do that one. Now we'll look at the other field, because we'll have to change all this for the other field. But yeah, this shows that we can do potatoes, and then the next year we'll just have to have a think. Might have to come off an oil-based crop, but we might have other productions by that time as well. So now on this one, we've currently got the soybeans in the field, so that's going to be the next one. The corn will come out, we can put into a calculator, but it doesn't really make any difference. So we'll get the calculator all set up. We've put all the inputs here for this field. So corn was in it before we even loaded the map. The sunflowers were there. This has gone down because I've put these in, but it was giving us a bonus. Now soybeans are getting a decent bonus off the sunflowers. I put in canola because that's what I wanted to do. However, we can't plant it in time. So we'd probably have to just pick something else. Like we could go back to sunflowers because we can process that. But then we got to think, we're putting potatoes in. We could do potatoes, so we could do sunflowers and potatoes now. So that would be... Okay, what does anything give us a boost on our potatoes? Canola would be the better one, but no, I think we're just going to have to go sunflowers again after that one, and then potatoes the following year. So yeah, that's how I'm working out what crops I'm putting in. I'm just using this calculator and what's down on the bottom right, what we've done, just to try and get a decent bonus on it. So we're doing potatoes on this one next year, and it looks like we're doing sunflowers on this one next year. Then the following year, we've already planned that it's going to be potatoes, and yet to be determined. See how the harvester's getting on. I am planning on getting this mulched as well. I might actually just start that now. And yeah, because we need to get it mulched and we need to get it limed. Yeah, I'll see where the harvester's at, and we'll get started with the mulching. So we don't have much left to do on the field in terms of harvesting. We've got a patch over there, and then this little strip. I'm going to get this little strip done, move the combine over there, set up a worker to get that bit done, and then we will jump into the Kubota and get the mulching started. We'll open up the sort of headlands areas with the mulcher, and then we'll probably just put a worker in it while we deliver this canola to our oil mill, our oil plant, and then we'll probably get hooked up on the lime spreader as well, just to get with the big John Deere, so we can get as much done as we can in this episode for this field. I'm managing this hill okay with the power that we have. We're still on our starting power, which is about 330. We dropped down at 5 from 6 there, now 4. We're not 38% full for... It was the back end of the field when we had a lot more weight in us that caused us some issues. As I said, it's very expensive to get the power up, so I think we'll just leave it for now. And we will just make do with what we've got. If we have tons of money later on at some point, then yes, we will definitely put the power up. But for now, it struggles a bit, but we get through. Okay, we are in our Kubota. Now we just need to get this all unfolded. A bit down. So we've got the worker in the combine over there. We've currently got 33,000 in the lorry. So it's 40,000 to fill a side up. We're definitely going to be able to do that. And then we'll see how much more we get. Even with just 40,000, that's like 120,000 litres of canola we're getting off the field, which I am pretty impressed with. My guesstimate was we were going to get about 100. I thought, oh, I might get 100 in my head. But to get well over that, I am extremely happy. So all of that's going to get turned into oil. I think it gives us like half the amount of oil, so yeah, it's going to be a nice bit of profit from this field. I'm going to get this all opened up, and I will see you in a bit. so that's 2 rounds done with mulcher. Just got this small little bit to go. We've filled the front part of the trailer, so we've got 40,000 at least. I don't know how much about in the back, I didn't actually check what was in the combine. So there's another 40,000. We won't fill the back bit with this, but yeah, this is much more than I thought, as I said. So we will get this all done, and then we need to transport it down to the oil plant. And once we get that done, is probably get the lime trailer hooked up to the John Deere. That's going to be the next job, because then that'll be this field good to go. And then we're just waiting on the soybean harvest. So that is all of our canola done. You'll see the final total. You can't just see the final total on the map, but if we go to the precision farming, and we click on here, zero herbicide yield. Oh, I didn't reset it after the grass. We can't tell, because that's we didn't get that much canola. If only. I'll make sure I reset it after this, once we get the lime on. No, actually, we'll do it before we put lime on, I'll reset it. Might be halfway through the mulching, but that's okay. 56,000, so that's 136,000 litres of canola we've got. It's a nice big haul. I'll take that. That means if you put like corn or something in this field, you'd be pushing close to 250,000 litres off it. It's a nice lot. It's going to be a lot of potatoes we're going to get off here as well when we do that. I'm just going to park this up here, out of the way. It's going to be onto that field next anyway. Oh, good enough of a back wheelie there. I took out a sign, I'm forever taking out the signs. Okay, I'll put that there. Now we'll take this delivery of canola to our oil mill. I'm forgetting we actually need to cultivate this field as well, because we're putting potatoes in it. Don't think the planter doesn't allow you to do that. To plant it onto a non-cultivated state. But we will look at picking ourselves up a cultivator so we can get limed and then cultivate as well. Will we get that all done on this episode? Possibly, possibly. That's all our canola at the production site. Look here, yeah, 133. It has processed some, obviously we delivered some earlier. We'll slowly work through that. That's what, 34,000 every month. So yeah, it's going to take 4 months to get through it all. The best time to actually sell the canola oil, I think, is in the winter. We looked. Yep, November. So it should all be done by... It won't all be done by November. It'll mostly be done, but not all. Well, that was tipping. I had a quick look at some cultivators. They are expensive. Should kind of new. It's just trying to get one that works with our tractor as well. There's a couple that I've seen. Not making any decisions yet. Okay, I'm not sure if we're going to do that on this episode or the start of the next one. We'll get this back and we'll get the John Deere hooked up to the lime spreader, so we can look at getting that started as well. Okay, we have the lime hooked up. So I think let's do a lap round and then we'll start going up and down. Yeah, there are a few choices for our cultivator. There is one that is it's cheaper, so it's like an older piece of equipment. It's not quite as big as the other ones. I'm kind of swaying towards that because it's only about 10,000, 11,000 for a cultivator. That goes about 8 or 9 metres wide. And this can maybe pull it, I need to check. We can go wider, and this can loosely pull it, we might need to upgrade it slightly. But they are like 100,000. It's quite a big investment at the moment, which we're trying to buy a lot of other stuff. Might not be smart, so we might just go with the cheaper one for now. It might not be as effective as the other ones, but we'll make do. We can always upgrade it later. So the mulching is going pretty well. This annoying bit's done now, he's got bigger strips to go. And then it's the left with a little patch in front of the water. Don't think it'll be done by the time we're round here, but it won't have, don't think we'll have any issues with it catching up. I think that's running at 12 miles an hour, 13. And we're plodding along at 11. Yeah, there's one round done, and we barely put any lime on. Probably not worth it, but we're doing it now, so we'll just finish off. Just really look at the maths behind it to see if it is cost effective or not, or if you just leave it. Because here we're at perfect. Here we're good. I'm not sure if it makes much difference, to be honest. I have to look at it. I can't remember what it says in the precision farming bit. Yeah, I'm going to let the worker get on with this, now I'm going to finish off the mulching. Put them in there, and then I'll jump into the Kubota. Okay, the worker's done pretty good. He's got a little strip here to do, and then it's like the bottom bit. We might have to do a little patch there, but I'm not too worried about little patches, because they are little. But yeah, this is not far from being done. I think we'll leave the cultivating till the next episode so we can get a cultivator. I might look at Mod Hub and see if there's any ones that I don't have or anything like that, just to see if there's any better choices. But yeah, we'll get the cultivating done next episode. We'll also get the harvest started on the soybeans. We should be able to. We might have to rest through September. I think it's October we can do that. We can start looking at getting our potato stuff as well soon, because we need the planter, which is obviously what you need to start, 130,000. Then the topper or harvester, or however, what we're going to do with that, not sure. Very tempted if we make enough money off of our canola oil, our soybeans, just to get a harvester straight off the bat. Like, just go all out from the beginning. But we'll see. We'll see how much money we can make. But we also need to look at the productions for potatoes. There's a couple that I've looked at. The seed potato mod is really nice, it's really good. The only problem I've had when I've tested it is it's very hands-on. You have to constantly be taking pallets out, and that would be not the best thing to film, or yeah, you'd be non-stop just processing it, because you can. I had to play about with that. I only put 20,000 litres of potatoes in, and that was non-stop. So imagine putting like 1,000,000 litres of potatoes in. You would be there for hours upon hours upon hours. But it is a very good mod. I do like it. It's really clean, tidy buildings and things that they've done in it, and the processes on it look really good. It's just it is time consuming manually. So the other one I looked at is potato processing, which is allows you to make like the French fries and things like that. That one I do like the look of a lot, because essentially you just put potatoes in, put oil in, which we are dealing with as well, so it kind of matches with that. And yeah, you can sell that. We will need to get a supermarket as well, another alternative supermarket or sell point made, because that'll add to the cost on that one. Again, it'll probably be about 200,000 say for the processing and the shop. So these numbers are all adding up. Like, that comes after. Like, if we harvest potatoes, we can just sell potatoes as is and use the money to invest further into the potato business. But yeah, we'll need a plot of land as well to do all that. Yeah, there's big purchases that are needing to come, and we just need to make sure we get some good harvests off of these fields. Which this harvest was a lot bigger than I expected. I was hoping for 100,000. And we got 136, so I'm very pleased with that. I've seen that the machine was... Is the machine still blocked over there? Oh, that looks like it's a bit of an issue. I think we'll have to go and fix that. So I'm not sure how, but the worker... Oh, that's not... Yeah, I think I'm like in the telegraph pole. Okay, we need to try and fix this. Give me a second. Okay, I had to super strength that out of there. Just in case, we'll do another little pass, but don't want to be wrapped around the telegraph pole again. Okay, let's go back and get this set off. This is where the benefit of possibly doing courseplay or even using the GPS mod would work. I really need to learn them maybe to actually get full use from them. But the AI, once you open up the fields, I always find the AI is not normally too bad unless you have little things like that. Issue fixed. So back to what we're speaking about, our potato empire. Yeah, obviously getting the potatoes in harvested first and then the production comes second. So if you don't have enough money to do the production side, it's not going to stop us doing potatoes. We're doing potatoes regardless. Just have to see when we get the production side of it as well. Production side of it just adds value. Yeah, once we get some money getting made from our potato business, straight onto cotton. Maybe look at some horses as well. We need to look at... I want to get some horses so we've got something to do in the winter. I don't think that'll be that expensive to do, but it probably will be really because I've got to build a horse shelter and everything. Yeah, so we'll see. We just step by step, but that is the goals that we've got. So we do have a lot to work towards. But for now, we need to get this mulched and get that liming done. So that is the mulching all done. It's packed away. I've got the worker plodding away with the lime, which will get finished, and that will be a wrap for today. That's us down to the last little bit to go, and then we are all done with our liming. I was about to say we're all done with the field prep, but we are not, because we need to cultivate, which we will do on the next episode. But for now, that is us. So thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like. You can also subscribe if you want. It helps me out massively. So until next week, thank you again, and goodbye.